The world is surrounded by beautiful trees that look like they come from heaven, and there are beautiful flowers in every corner that you can touch and smell. We're sorry, but we have bad news. Not all of these herbs are as innocent as they seem. This was noticed when new plants were discovered containing highly potent poisons. These killer plants have an almost unprecedented level of lethality. It's not just tasting berries or picking flower petals that can kill you anymore. Just getting close to these poisonous plants can cause death. Along with these terrifying revelations, we'll also consider the potential mind-altering property of giant hairweed, an unusually neurotoxic herb that can make you do things you would never do, and the reason for the biblical legends of blood-filled water. The list in this video includes 10 dangerous plants and their properties that seem harmless, waiting among the beaches and leaves. 1. Skunk cabbage. Skunk cabbage is a large, foul-smelling plant of the Aurum family that grows in North America. The scent of this plant, which grows spontaneously in the swamp, was often confused with skunk until large golden and purplish flowers emerged from the leaves. When you see the plant, you might think that aliens left it there. Although it was discovered by the Indians that the consumption of skunk cabbage in a certain amount is good for people, it should be known that deaths caused by excessive calcium oxalate poison may occur as a result of excessive consumption of the wrong parts of the plant. Calcium oxalate is a highly corrosive toxin that can burn the skin and disrupt organ systems. Someone who misunderstood the gardening book and tried to make a flower bed from skunk cabbage faced hours of severe discomfort and 2 days of difficult swallowing, with a nasty burn of his throat and mouth. 2. Buttercup. While buttercup is the most innocent-looking plant on this list, it is among the garden plants that we can almost always encounter and have extra deadly properties. It usually grows in grassy areas with little drainage and is mostly found by children. When the plant touches the skin, a small red spot forms on the skin. That's because the bright yellow flowers emit toxins that cause minor rashes. This herb can produce severe gastrointestinal toxicity, poisoning rodents that consume it. If consumed by humans, it can cause a painful death by causing organ and nervous system poisoning. It is clear that the beauty of this plant is not to touch, but to watch. 3. Giant hogweed. Giant hairweed is indeed a plant to be feared. While many plants show toxic properties when consumed, this plant causes serious harm to humans, even with just a little physical contact. At the same time, it has abundant plant sap emission and photosensitive properties. This plant extract instantly reacts to sunlight and starts a chemical reaction that swells the skin and soft tissue, causing gangrene and the formation of purple-looking lesions that will last for several years. Even a tiny plant extract in contact with the eye has the potential to cause blindness. Giant hairweeds can grow to about 2.5 meters in length. On the other hand, pigs are resistant to these plants. No harmful effects on pigs have yet been observed. 4. Death camas. Edible bulbs, called the camas plant, found in the woods of the oak region of Northwest America, cover the area with their colorful blooms. The first peoples cultivated meadows by burning and cultivating a variety of such plants. However, species related to this plant can be confused with edible camas. It is quite obvious that Toxicoscordion venenosum is the most poisonous plant in existence. Death camas is distinguished from edible camas by its soft hue. If someone interacts with camas, it becomes a matter of life and death. Consuming even a small amount of this herb causes sudden death due to blood deterioration and organ failure. 5. Brugmansia. The remarkable angel trumpet flower is a plant native to the forests of South America. This plant emits a very powerful poison with a triple action called scopolamine, which has hyoscyamine, atropine, and hypnotic properties. Angel trumpet is not deadly as long as people do not touch it, and in this respect it differs from other plants on this list. A documentary named Colombian Devil's Breath, which decomposes scopolamine from this plant and uses it on its victims and turns them into zombies, was shot and information was given about Melek trumpet in this documentary. Victims under the influence of this hypnotic herb are unaware of their actions, but are still fully awake. The documentary also features several horror stories about scopolamine attacks, along with the experiences of a man who had scopolamine powder blown in his face and his whole house was emptied by thieves. In addition, the psychotic consciousness of the volunteer subjects was completely affected. 6. Himalayan blackberry. The Himalayan blackberry is a plant you will never want to mess with. This plant covers an area of 40 square meters with its sharp spines. Unlike the blackberries we know, the spines of the Himalayan blackberry can reach up to 5 centimeters. Even encountering this type of blackberry may require you to go to the emergency room. This pungent, innocent-looking herb can cause serious eye damage, blood loss, and deterioration of arteries and veins. Many unfortunate events occurred when hikers fell into the dangerous thorn-covered valley. The thorny bushes are tightly bound together, so if they are splintered or cut, they can be thrown back and act like a mace and injure the eyes. 7. Gympie. The gympie tree, a plant native to Australia, is the most dangerous tree in the world and the most painful of all burning trees. Gympie's agonizing pain comes from being covered in caustic acid. This plant drives people affected by its poison to suicide. For example, a man shot himself after accidentally using the leaf of this tree as toilet paper while he was in the forest. This frightening herb contains one of the most potent poisons detected in humans, and a researcher has revealed that venom residues can be effective for up to 20 years. This condition can be caused by toxins left inside the venomous spines. This plant is so dangerous that even the best workers in Australian forests wear special clothing in potentially dangerous areas. 8. New Zealand tree nettle. The New Zealand nettle is one of only 2 plants in the world that can kill a human if accidentally stepped on. This huge plant is the most poisonous of the stinging nettles. It can grow up to 4.5 meters. This sophisticated robed plant is surrounded by large spines that can release irritating neurotoxins at even the slightest contact and can be deadly. To avoid death, it is very important to be careful while hiking. There are many recorded events related to this situation. For example, there are people who die from the poison it contains, because it touches these terrible needles that affect the nervous system. If death does not occur immediately, the polyneuropathy involved can over time collapse the nervous system. 9. Spurge laurel. It is an unpretentious plant often used in decorative gardens and public areas with its small glossy leaves. Spurge laurel is very closely related to the laurel plant. But this laurel tree causes one of the worst deaths in the plant kingdom. When contacted with this plant, which has very effective biocides, it causes irritation in the contacted areas, and these irritations can turn into large wounds. Eating even a few of its fruits causes a large-scale internal bleeding and deterioration of the functions of the organs within hours. Interestingly, some tribes have used spurge laurel as a last resort medicine for the severely ill. However, the treatment applied can have much worse results than the disease. The green finch living in deserted areas can digest the fruits of this plant without any damage. 10. Red tide algae. The red tide that upsets the world's coastline is a terrifying event. During the change of seasons, with the change in temperature, the water turns into a musty color as a result of the reproduction of thousands of small seaweeds known as Algera pelagius. Algae are quickly collected on the surface by shellfish. These have considerable neurotoxic effects. This growth of algae, which is very dangerous, can quickly paralyze the secondary organs, and even worse, as a result of contact with crustaceans infected with algae, it can numb the respiratory tract.